It is hot today.
Very hot.
I don't know if you can tell, but we're both just sitting here sweating. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day yesterday.
Yeah.
So today, show is brought to you by Shakespeare Bait and Tackle. Have the best fishing experience. Wait, no.
Come on.
Use Shakespeare to have the best fishing Shakespeareance. There you go.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
That was good.
Yeah, that
If
was our
someone
sponsor.
can come up with a better tagline, let us know.
Well, you gotta throw it out to your sponsors like that. It's really important.
Right.
So we had fun Memorial Day, hanging out in the yard, mowing
much fun.
and picking up garbage and leaves and sticks and burning trash, all sorts of stuff.
We have baby bunnies in our yard right now, so I had a lot of fun watching the baby bunnies. It was really cute.
I have never been excited about anything in my life as much as she's excited about these baby bunnies.
They're so cute and small.
She is digging the baby bunnies.
Cute.
So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of our experience with quarantine, right? Being stuck, we're talking about being stuck. And for us, when we were first stuck, it was kind of exciting, for me at least. One of my favorite things is when I get snowed in. I just love the feeling of having to hunker down, and it feels like an adventure. Like when you go into town, it's like crazy. That's what it felt like for a while. It was fun, but soon thereafter, like a couple weeks into us being stuck here, it started being not so fun. How was it not? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, at first, Justin gets really excited to, like, go grocery shopping on a normal day, but when it's, like, when you see all the people, like, doomsday prepping, it's kind of fun to just,
There
like,
is definitely
experience
something
this weird thing that's happening.
Interesting about
It's
it.
wild. But then it definitely started to feel like, okay, I'm tired of sitting around all day, I'm tired, I have no more Netflix shows to watch, and it's been 2 weeks. We just kind of felt like we had low energy and no motivation to do anything, even when we were supposed to be getting work done.
Sure.
It was just kind of blah for a while.
Yeah, like this haze just kind of
Yeah.
ran in over our lives.
We got kind of comfy just being lazy.
And then because of that, I think, like, we were more irritable with each other, and, like, I know I was more anxious. We were, like, things felt more chaotic.
Sure.
And luckily in the past couple weeks, we've kind of changed gears a little bit, I would say, in a way that's been helpful for us. But I think for us, what we forgot is what we do has an effect on what we feel, right? And it's like we forgot that, or we didn't care for a little bit, or it was just easier to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And today, I imagine a lot of us are feeling this, or have felt this kind of tension of, like, things are so chaotic, so I'm just going to do what's easiest, and what's easiest is watching Netflix, right?
Sure.
Netflix and snacks, or Hulu and snacks, or HBO Go and snacks, or whatever it is for you.
Whatever streaming service you are using.
Yeah, and snacks, or video games maybe.
And snacks.
And snacks. Whatever it is for you, like when we retreat into these things, it's fun at first.
Yeah.
But eventually it kind of takes a toll on us. And I think there's another example of being stuck in Scripture that we're going to look at today. This one comes from the book of Daniel. If you remember back to last week, we talked about whom? Jeremiah.
Sorry.
A guy who had the worst job potentially in the Bible, right? He's like, hey, don't do this, or, we're going to get it, right? Stop worshiping false idols, or the favor that God is pouring out on us is going to stop. And nobody listened to him, and the favor that God was pouring out onto them stopped, and they were, like, taken in as slaves. And what we have in this story today are some of those people who are in captivity, right? One of which, the guy whose name is on the book, Daniel, and then a couple others. Who are the others? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So why don't you pick up the story here? These guys, let me give you a little background. These guys are, so when they brought in these people like the Israelites. They kind of cherry picked the best and brightest and brought those guys into like the king's court, and they were like gonna work for the king, right? So we have a handful of guys who are working for the king, and that's what we're picking up here.
All right, this is Daniel 1, starting at verse 5. The king assigned them a daily portion of the food that the king ate and of the wine that he drank. They were to be educated for 3 years, and at the end of that time, they were to stand before the king. Among these were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah of the tribe of Judah.
All right, now none of those names lined up with the ones that I said.
Right.
Keep reading and we'll find out why.
And the chief of the eunuchs gave them names. Daniel he called Belteshazzar. These names, you guys. And Hananiah he called Shadrach. Mishael he called Meshach. And Azariah he called Abednego.
We always say Abednego, but it's Abednego. Abednego. So, yeah, brought them in, gave them different names, and you're going to eat the king's food, drink the king's wine. This is like the adult version of Kool-Aid and mini corn dogs. Like,
Corn dogs.
best thing you can imagine. I don't know what that is for you.
That's a personal
It might be like soda and pizza or chicken nuggets and
whatever you like to eat.
whatever, but it was steak and wine pretty much.
Sure, yeah.
Which sounds like a pretty good setup. But instead of just, indulging in these things, which were kind of against some of their traditions, we pick up in verse 12 and hear what happened.
It says, "Test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's food be observed by you, and deal with your servants according to what you see." So he listened to them in this matter and tested them for 10 days. At the end of 10 days, it was seen that they were better in appearance and fatter in flesh than all of the youths who ate the king's food. So the steward took away their food and the wine they were to drink and gave them vegetables.
All right, so he's like, we're not going to eat this yummy steak. We're just going to eat vegetables
Yeah.
because we're that kind of people. And I think it's so cool here that instead of just, going with the easy route, they said, what we're going to control what we can control, right? What we can control, we think is our food. They did this little test. And that is what I want to encourage you guys to do. If you guys tuned into our live stream, or if you were at church with us, in the church building with us Sunday,
Sunday, yeah.
one of the things Adam talked about was controlling what you can control. When in these uncertain times that we're living in, when things are chaotic, everyone's anxious, people are depressed, like when so many things are just question marks, when we're living in these uncertain times, if we can just control what we can actually control, it can have a tremendous amount of change, like it can affect what we experience inside, right? Mentally and emotionally, it can have a huge deal. So, kind of what he said yesterday or Sunday was control what you can control and let Jesus take care of the rest. And that's what we want to encourage you guys with this week. Control what you can control and let Jesus take care of the rest. So, some things that you can control. That's the challenge this week. We want to challenge you to just do some of these. So what are some things you can control? You can make your bed, right?
Oof.
You can do that. Do you ever make your bed?
No.
It's the same bed that I sleep.
We never
don't.
make our bed.
We're up in the loft, and it's like just a sheet
You
with
can't
one blanket.
see the sheets. It would probably be easy for us. It's just.
Yeah, so we need to make our bed this week. Another thing you can control, you can do some exercise. Like even if you're stuck in your room, you can do exercise in your room, right?
Definitely.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, I use this Peloton app, or like sometimes I'll just YouTube like 15 minutes of cardio.
It's like exercise Netflix that
Yeah.
you're using your sister's password as
Yeah.
you would with Netflix.
Yeah, I'm stealing it from someone else. But you can find free stuff on YouTube too, and some of them are like 10 minutes long, and you feel so much better even after 10 minutes, and you can just do it in your room.
Well, better like emotionally maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not,
we did it together, and it was like,
woo! You're like exhausted, but
what else do you do? You eat a vegetable.
yeah, you could definitely eat those green things that mom makes you eat sometimes.
Can you think of something that you can do to take it? What's something you can control?
I mean, I think you can control like how much you're looking at your screens during the day. So I know like sometimes I feel like I spend my entire day on my phone playing games or social media or whatever, and it's really freeing for me to just like put that away for a couple hours and not look at it. And I can control what I'm taking in that way.
Yeah, just switch up and read a book.
Yeah,
Use different
I've been reading
like
a
muscles
lot.
in your brain. That's good too.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, our challenge to you is to control what you can control, and then let Jesus take the rest. And when we come back Thursday and do our Zoom, I want to hear how have you taken control of something that you can control,
Yeah.
and what have you just left to Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, peace out. We'll see you Thursday.